On a cloudy and cold Tuesday morning in Northeast Ohio. We are, I don't know, not too far away, I guess, from spring. I wish it would get here sooner, but it's not. So we got to suck it up, stop whining about the weather, and let's go. It's still football weather. Dustin, how you doing, man?
Adam, I'm doing great. It is Super Bowl week. I'm excited.
Yes,
yeah, it's good. The weather warmed up a little bit out there. I mean, it was dicey for a minute. I guess we're getting another storm again this weekend. So
yeah, Friday.
Bracing for that for the Super Bowl weekend. But no, it's great, man. Other than that, everything's good.
Well, Bet Rivers and the Bullpen are good as well. Bet Rivers and the Bullpen are giving away our first bonus bet of the year to all the Bullpen listeners here at Bull and Fox. From now until February 22nd, go to Bet Rivers Ohio. Go to the Bet Rivers Ohio app. Enter the code ATB202 to get a $10 bonus bet at Bet Rivers. That code again is ATB202. Available in Ohio only. Must be 21. Eligible players only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, go to Bet Rivers Ohio, the app. Use the code ATB202. We will get into the Browns with the Jim Schwartz situation. I had a feisty debate about it on our text chat there with some of the other members of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I was on an island by myself on this. We'll get to that later. We'll have.
I don't know, Adam. First off, I don't know, and we're not going down that road yet. But I don't know that you're on an island with me.
Oh, you're with me on that?
We're going to have a conversation about it.
Okay, we'll get to that later. We'll get to the YouTube chat messages and the prop bets as well for the Super Bowl, obviously with the game coming up. But we begin in the NBA where reports this morning say the Cleveland Cavaliers could be on the verge of acquiring James Harden in a trade that would feature Darius Garland going back. This is kind of crazy. Obviously, James Harden past his prime, still obviously a really
score at will.
He can score at will.
Yeah.
I've never been a huge fan. He's never been a clutch performer in the playoffs. There's a lot that surrounds James Harden. I don't know what to make of this yet, Dustin, but just without knowing any further details, in theory, if the Cavs trade Darius Garland for James Harden without knowing what the rest of it would be, and that's obviously the biggest part, James Harden at 36 years old, what would your reaction be if this actually happens?
Well, there's a couple things to consider here. Let's talk like pros first.
Yeah.
Like what this would do for the Cavaliers, like in the short term. Like the short term would be James Harden's an instant star. He comes in, he's going to score, 25 if he wants to every night. I mean, it can shoot the ball. We need more 3-point shooting. He can shoot the ball. He can get to the bucket just like you. Donovan is like one of the best at getting to the bucket and getting a bucket. You know what I mean? And Harden's up there with him. At one point in his prime, I think Harden was maybe the best at that.
Yeah.
So it gives you that. We have this window here, which is kind of like closing rapidly to win a title with these guys. I don't think you're going to win a title with Darius Garland. I think it's going to be a challenge for the Cavaliers to get over that hump. We also know that, if this trade happens between Garland and James Harden, it would help them in terms of the salary cap, right? It would get them under that apron. So that would be some like long-term flexibility. That's a positive. So, I mean, those are the pros. Now there are cons. There are cons.
Go ahead, hit me with your cons.
I mean, the guy doesn't play any defense.
Nope.
The windows, it's small. It gets smaller. Some people like Garland because he's a good player. I don't know that he's a killer, and I don't know that you can win a championship with him. Certainly not as the lead role. And then the other thing that you have to question is like, how's he fit? Does he fit in? Like, what's his attitude with this team? Donovan's the alpha of this club. Like, did Donovan and James Harden get along? That's the question. So There's some cons to go with the pros.
So I like your breakdown there. I agree with everything you said. The money, I think, is pretty even. So I don't know if they'd save money with the two. Besides that, I think you're right on point. Obviously, James Harden is a more dynamic offensive player. Now, you say he's bad defensively, which obviously is 100% true. But it's not like Darius Garland is anything.
No, but Darius Garland's a young player
yes.
that in the playoffs should be able to play defense when given the opportunity. Like, turn it up. Like, you can do it, young man. James Harden's an old head.
Listen, whatever they want to do, I'm willing to give it a chance, right? You know, you get a guy who's been a superstar, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. You know, I've never been the biggest fan. Part of me is like, you know, my first thought was, well, he's had a lot more experience in the playoffs, but it's not a lot of good experience because he's had some very terrible moments. Now, he wouldn't be the best player on this team. He'd be the second best player. Ultimately, I would like to know what Donovan Mitchell, like if I could have an honest moment with Donovan Mitchell and nobody else would find out about it. And I said, Donovan, James Harden, or Darius Garland, who do you want to be your running mate? Because in terms of the length of the window, to me, when Donovan Mitchell's gone, whether he, you know, is past his prime, you know, we're jaded by LeBron James. Just because LeBron's still playing at a high level at his age, like most guys start to go downhill in their mid-30s or at least late 30s, you know, not 40. So I don't know, like if the Cavs can't get to at least an Eastern Conference final this year or next year, I think Donovan's going to be gone. So I don't care about the length of the window because with Evan Mobley and Darius Garland as your two best players, I just don't see you going anywhere significantly. So I don't care about it from that perspective. I mean, I'd rather I'm getting silly, but I you know, there were rumors about obviously Giannis, and I'd much rather find a way to get Giannis if possible, and I just don't see how that's possible. I don't know. I'm torn, Dustin, because I just don't like James Harden really. I know he's a great player, but I don't like his game, and
I don't love his game.
Yeah,
but he can score, and he's one of those guys that, like, when he puts up a shot, sometimes you're like surprised when he doesn't make it because he's such a talented offensive scorer of the basketball. Like that's what he's an all-time great scorer.
Yes,
of the basketball. Like that's what this guy does. He can get buckets. He can shoot it. I mean, the guy can go to the free throw line 20 times a night if he wants to.
He's averaging this year at his age 36 season, 25.5 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists a game, plus almost 1.5 steals and a half a block. Now he averages 4 turnovers, but like you look at the numbers across the board, he's shooting 42% from the field, takes a lot of shots, 35% from 3. He's over 90% from the free throw line. So obviously he's a great shooter, and as you said, he doesn't play any defense. But
here's the thing.
Yeah.
If the Cavs are going to win a title, they're going to have to score 120 in the playoffs against this OKC team.
Right. Yes, that's true.
And like, you know, Harden is 36 years old. He's in the Western Conference. They're not getting past the Thunder to get to the finals. So like he's not going to get to the NBA Finals in the Western Conference, not in anytime soon. And he's 36. So how many more years does he have left? Like, if you're James Harden, how much do you care about your legacy in winning a title? Because it certainly would put a bow on top of a Hall of Fame career where people have an asterisk next to your name where they say you didn't win a title, you didn't play defense, you didn't do X, Y, Z, but you were an MVP, you were a 12-time All-Star, 6-time first-team All-NBA. All those things are great, but you don't have a title. So I think hopefully you'd get a hungry James Harden. I hope.
I think in the end, even though I have my reservations about James Harden, I think you're right. I think I would make this trade. Again, without knowing any other details about what would be involved. I did see something. I know that Chris Maddox was on with Ken and Lima this morning and said that, you know, this is really close. And there was some report. There was a report saying that the Cavs are trying to get a draft pick swap with the Clippers as well. You know, because the Clippers are, you know, they're looking to get younger, obviously. And so in the end, I think the Cavs probably do need a shakeup. And what the hell? I'll bet on James Harden in the sometime, maybe in the next 2 years, giving them a chance. I think ultimately, yes, he gives them a bet in the playoffs. Even with his flaws, I still trust him to score in the playoffs more than I trust Darius Garland.
Yes, 1,000%.
Right?
1,000%.
And with the East being pretty wide open, now if Giannis got traded to the Knicks, do you think, like right now it feels like the Cavs could definitely win the East, even though they haven't played as well as the Knicks. Well, really not, really just the Pistons. If Giannis ends up on the Knicks, and that was one of the rumors, does that change things big time?
For sure, it changes things in the East. I mean, Giannis is an all-time great player, another Hall of Fame guy. Like, getting past him is not going to be easy, and they already have a pretty talented team, and Brunson's a killer in the playoffs. Like, we know how talented they can be. So, yeah, for sure.
So I'd still go for it. So you'd go for it. You would make the deal.
Where Giannis goes doesn't really affect me because I still think the Cavs have to make a drastic move. Yeah. And I really don't think the standing pat thing is going to work anymore. And Garland he can't stay healthy, and it doesn't seem to be a fit. And I'm with you, man. Like, let's do anything to try to shake up the apple cart and throw something against the wall because we're running out of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And obviously, they've already made a significant trade. What'd you think of the DeAndre Hunter deal?
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't love DeAndre Hunter.
Right.
So like it's one of those things where when I saw the headline pop across my phone, I'm like, okay. Like, I didn't really have a huge opinion either way. Yeah. But I certainly wasn't heartbroken that he was going to be traded.
And Keon Ellis, I'm no expert on it, but apparently he's a really good defender.
Great.
Schroeder's a weird guy because it seems like half the places he goes, he does great and people love him, and half the places he goes, he doesn't play well, and he drives everybody crazy. I don't know.
I hope he drives our opponents crazy.
Yeah,
that's what I hope because the Cavs don't have one guy that is a little different and that will kind of be an asshole.
Right. You need that. You're right. You need a couple of assholes on the team.
Yep.
Isn't Harden a bit of an asshole too?
From all accounts, yeah.
Yeah. The trade deadline is Thursday afternoon. So if the Cavs are going to get James Harden or anybody else, it's going to happen between, in the next 50-something hours. It's exciting. I mean, I didn't think the Cavs were going to be a huge player in this trade deadline with their cap situation, but they're trying to change it on the fly. I've been very critical of Kobe Altman this year, but I give him credit for at least trying to not stand pat here and just say, well, this is the team, so be it. It may not work, but I respect the hustle here. We'll see, how it all turns out. Do you think Giannis is going to get traded?
Oh, I do. I mean, everything that everyone's saying, coming out of Milwaukee in that camp, his camp behind the scenes, he's not saying it publicly, but behind the scenes, anything you see from the insiders says that, he wants out of there.
Yeah. All right. So, we'll keep you up to date. Dustin and I will be back here on Thursday morning. So will James Harden be a Cav by then? Will Giannis get traded? We'll see. If Giannis does get traded, I hope it's to the West and not to the Knicks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Let him go to the Warriors. Then he gets buried.
That was what I had heard yesterday. There was all the speculation on the NBA shows on ESPN yesterday were about him going to Golden State.
Yeah. Right. And, only one team can come out of the West. So,
And you know what? I like the way Golden State's playing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love someone to just even push OKC to six games.
Right. Yeah, that would be cool.
Just put a little pressure on them.
All right, let's get some comments from the fans. Then we'll switch gears and talk about the Jim Schwartz situation. Sammy Hill with the Bull and Fox emojis. Also says, Dustin, congrats on 2 years. You look amazing. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Is today 2 years?
Yesterday was.
Oh, I didn't. Did you post it on social media?
Well, it's Groundhog Day. This is my sobriety date.
That's right.
So 2 years is sober from alcohol. Appreciate it. Feeling great.
That's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you, man.
One day at a time.
That's
Very
right.
proud of you.
Thank you, buddy.
That's awesome.
Love you.
That's awesome. Really happy. Let's see. Will Y says James Harden don't play no defense. Yeah, we know that. the Battle of Ohio. I know, let's see, have the Cavs signed Shiloh Sanders? Because of his last name, the Cavs might be good. Soul Jai, a Bull, why you hate Shador? We're not even talking about Shador. I don't hate him, and yet I'm being accused of hating him, even now. Narcotics. Love Garland, but James Harden would be awesome for this team. Let's see. B. Skrills, Cavaliers trying to get rid of all the clutch players on this team. Is he clutch? Do you think Darius is clutch?
I do not. And I don't think that he has no clutchness in the playoffs. That's for sure.
A fatal cheeseburger. More guards will not put the Cavs over the edge. I'd really like to see a three-way. Whoa.
Ooh.
Where Harden ends up in New York and we get Cat. Why would the Knicks do that? They're not going to trade Cat, I don't think. Taylor says, McNugget says no to the trade because if we're up to him, the Cavs would never make again. Make? We can no longer afford to stand pat, but too many people don't get it. B. Skrills, I'm a Garland fan, but he's still been too inconsistent. Let's see. I'm not a fan of Harden either, but he is available more than Darius Garland. Sports Fanatic, James Harden too old. Jason Harlow, yes on Harden just because of the playoffs. Sports Fanatic, Harden 5 years ago, I'd take him, not now. Narcotics, Garland gets hurt too much. Harden would do wonders for the team. Mr. Chairman of the Board, Darius Garland is only clutch when it comes to owning the injury list. Christopher Myers, that's amazing, Dustin. 2 years, congrats.
Thank you.
B. Skrills, congratulations, Fox. Fatal Cheeseburger, congratulations on the sobriety, Dustin. That's a real accomplishment.
Thank you, guys.
Beautiful. Mr. Chairman of the Board, Bull and Fox, did two of you see the Indians/Guardians signing any of the remaining free agent power hitters, or will the cheap-ass Dolans continue to be too weak to open the checkbook? Then there's no power hitters left. The last one just signed. I'll talk more about that on UCSS today. Okay, let's get to the Brown situation. So yesterday, we all know what's happening here. Jim Schwartz he hasn't said anything publicly. But Jim Schwartz, by all reports, extremely pissed off when he didn't get the head coaching job. According to those reports, he was led to believe, or at least he believed, I don't know if he was led to believe, the only people that would know that are Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry and Jim Schwartz, but he believed that he was getting the head coaching job of the Browns.
Yeah.
When they hired Todd Monken, Jim Schwartz apparently was extremely pissed off, apparently cleared out his office and told people in his, friend group or whatever that he's done with the Browns, he's finished, he's gone. Now, he has 1 year left on his deal to be defensive coordinator. If a team offered him a promotion, he could leave without the Browns stopping him. If the Browns allowed him to walk away, he could leave.
Yeah.
If the Browns do not allow him to walk away, he could quit, but he wouldn't be able to coach this season. Yesterday, we have obviously a UCSS group chat, and Tyvis made a comment about how he doesn't think that Jim Schwartz is, I won't get into all the details, but he doesn't think Jim Schwartz is handling this situation well. He thinks it's poor look for him. And Jason and Earl immediately jumped in and agreed, and I don't agree. I was the lone defender in this. It was really just a 4-person argument, the three of them against me. I defended Jim Schwartz in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, they're essentially, to put the cliff notes on the conversation, they're saying that Jim Schwartz is being a baby.
Yes.
And he's under contract,
right.
And basically, he is embarrassed that he didn't get the job, and so now he's taking his ball and he's going home.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's basically what they're saying.
That's what they're saying, and they're saying that he should suck it up, and honor his contract, and coach this team with Monken as the head coach.
Right.
And I understand what their point is, and I understand how contracts work, and I get that. I also get your point, which is Jim Schwartz is 60-something years old.
Right.
Right? He has made millions of dollars. He's been a head coach in this league. He just had one of the best defenses in football, 2 out of the last 3 years. Like, this team stinks. And if they didn't have him, they wouldn't have won a game this year. If I'm Jim Schwartz, I probably do the exact same thing. And look, I try to keep my ego in check in my own life. And I try to look myself in the mirror and say, am I being an asshole here? Am I doing the right thing? You know what I mean? Like, is this me responding out of anger or out of some other emotion? And maybe he is, but I also know at the end of the day, I have to stand up for myself and my self-worth. And I think that's where he's at right now.
Yeah.
So I understand it. I would not coach the Browns if I'm Jim Schwartz.
Absolutely.
I would not honor the contract.
Yes, and to me, once you have a new head coach, I think it's disingenuous to just say, well, he signed that contract. Well, he signed the contract to be the DC under Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. If for whatever reason, if Jim Schwartz, for whatever reason, had this attitude, and if Kevin Stefanski were still the coach and Jim Schwartz, I don't know, for whatever, like, let's say he thought that Kevin Stefanski was getting fired. They didn't fire him, and he's pissed off and wants to leave. I would feel differently in that situation because he agreed to be the DC for this guy, not to try to undermine him. But once the guy gets fired, all bets are off to me. And again, I don't know that Jim Schwartz was led to believe he was going to be the head coach. He felt that way. Maybe he misread the situation. Maybe Jimmy Haslam changed his mind. I don't know. But I'm going to give Jim Schwartz the benefit of the doubt over Jimmy Haslam. I think he's earned it more than Jimmy Haslam has.
I mean, Adam, when I signed with Ohio State,
right,
I signed to go play for Jim Tressel. If Jim Tressel would have left for the NFL or got fired, like, I wouldn't have wanted to stay there. I'd have wanted to go somewhere else.
Right.
And that's kind of like, I get that he signed up to coach the Cleveland Browns. That's what the contract technically says.
Yeah.
It doesn't say, there's no nothing in the contract that says, well, if Stefanski's gone, your contract is void.
Right.
That's not in the deal, but it's kind of assumed, like, if they would have said, hey, Jim, we're going to have you come here, sign this contract. You're going to be the DC for 3 years. We're then going to fire Stefanski. We're going to pick somebody else, but we're going to need you to stay no matter what. He wouldn't have came here.
Right. 100%. Right. And had he agreed to that at the time,
sure, and
then got pissed off now, I'd say no.
Right.
You agree. You knew what was happening.
Exactly.
So to me, it's a different story. And listen, if I'm Todd Monken, I don't know that I want Jim Schwartz at this point anyway, because there's going to be bad blood that could permeate the whole team. Who knows? I wouldn't want him unless I had a talk with him and I really felt like he was all in and committed. But, like, to people to be piling on Jim Schwartz, everybody in this, 90% of people in Cleveland, the whole time of the coaching search were like, we can't lose Jim Schwartz. We can't lose Jim Schwartz. Now they hired a coach that nobody wanted at first. All right, we've all kind of come around and want to give him a chance. Fine. But now Jim Schwartz is the bad guy because he's pissed. We'd all be pissed in that situation. You said it. I said it. Now, most of us don't have the ability to quit if we get put in a situation like that, because most of us don't have that FU money.
Right.
But I assume Jim Schwartz has made I don't know. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in his bank accounts and his savings accounts, but I'm assuming Jim Schwartz has made enough money in his career that he could sit out a year and he'd be fine. If that's the case, if I'm him, and I would do that. Listen, at this point, he's come to the realization I'm never getting a head coaching job again. Like, this was if the Browns, other teams are thinking, well, if the Browns didn't hire him, he was there, he did a great job there. Why the hell would I hire him? Mm-hmm. It kind of sunk his last chance of ever being a head coach. And the Browns got to do what's best for them. If they feel Todd Monken's the best head coach, that's more important than a defensive coordinator ultimately. Fine. But you can't blame Schwartz for being pissed in this situation. And if I were him, I would 100% walk away. And I don't look at that as being a baby. I look at that as I have a self-worth. I have self-respect. I believe I earned something, and if I don't get it, and I can, most of us can't afford. It's easy for the rest of us to say, well, that's being babyish, because most of us would have to stay in that situation because we got no choice. We need the job. He's not in that situation.
Yeah,
So
and you know what? Shame on the Browns for having no fucking awareness.
Right.
No communication skills.
Yep.
To be on the same page, to drag the guy along, and to be like, think that this was actually work. They're delusional, man.
Yeah.
So like, bad job out of them.
Yes.
It never should have got to this point.
No.
It makes you look bad. Like, how about we get some crisis management in here?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That would be a good idea, but I don't think Jimmy would listen to the crisis management people. Larry Foss says Schwartz burned a bridge that I don't think he can come back from. Time for the Browns to move on from him. My dog starts barking. Jason Harlow, where else is Schwartz going to go? And he's really that mad?
He doesn't need to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy's coached his whole life.
Mr. Chairman of the Board, I personally don't blame James Schwartz. It probably is James. Jim Schwartz for being upset at not getting the head coaching job for the Browns, but he should show better behavior in this situation and just sit out a year. He might do that. In the current circumstances, does Jim Schwartz get paid if he chooses to sit out all year? No. No, the Browns don't have to pay him if he refuses to coach. Definitely not. Nor should they.
No.
Greg Gantz. I know draft talk will consume us the next couple of months, but what do you guys think about Jeremiah Love being our 6th pick and Monken goes run heavy next year with Judkins in a 1-2 punch? Would you like that? Or do they have to go somewhere else?
I mean, Jeremiah Love's like a really amazing talent. I just don't think you want to have like, again, I don't know the severity of Judkins' injury and like his career status. I'm hopefully he's going to be able to come back and be, not be hindered by that injury. But I don't think, man, I don't think you take a running back at 6.
No,
there's too many other holes. Like running backs, fine.
Yeah,
it's nice to have good running backs, but you just got Judkins.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Sampson in the 5th round. Like, what do we need another top pick for of a running back?
Nah, I agree with you. Soul says bye-bye Schwartz. B. Skrills, the Browns is sloppy as fuck. Ski Slope Logan, if I was Jim, I'd be pissed too. Come on now, folks. You'd be mad also. Exactly.
For sure.
The Browns need to focus on building the offensive line above all else. And Joe Kabak says, shout out Dustin for joining the Sobriety Club. Currently 5+ for me.
Attaboy.
Congratulations
Attaboy.
to you,
Thank
Joe.
you. Thank you.
And he also says, did you watch the Australian Open final?
Dude, I watched.
Is a pig's ass pork?
Do you know? Look what I'm wearing. And I literally got on this podcast. I was sweating from the tennis I was playing since 6 a.m. So yes, of course I watched it.
Dustin
my sleep schedule is so fucked up right now though, because I'm waking up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning because those are when the matches start.
Right.
It's like I think they're 16 hours ahead of us over there.
Right. Yeah, Dustin, there's not much that you would miss a major Open for. It'd have to be like your something.
No,
like your
it was when last Wimbledon, the final of Wimbledon. Remember, I was in Boston with my family, and I was on my deathbed with COVID, and I didn't watch it. I wasn't able to watch it because I was sick. I was so sick I couldn't even watch it.
So sick you couldn't watch TV. I couldn't
sit up.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap things up with some prop bets. Super Bowl time, Super Bowl week. We got some prop bets for you. I got to bring up my list, of course. You got one to start us off there, Dustin?
Yeah, over 16.5 yards for Trevion Henderson. And here's why. Trevion Henderson won a natty last year.
Yeah.
He's a baller in big games.
Yeah.
He's a Buckeye. Vrabel's a Buckeye. Vrabel's won a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls. I think he's gonna rely upon the Buckeye to have a big game. I know that he only had 3 carries in that AFC title game.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be an indicator of how many carries he gets in this game. It's 16.5 yards. It's one run. Come on.
I can't believe it's that low. I guess because of what happened last game.
3 carries last game.
All right, first one for me, Dustin. I got an under on the Patriots. I got Drake May under 213.5 yards. I think the Patriots are going to try to really grind it out and try to do a lot on the ground. And I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Seahawks in this game. You'll be able to tell from my props, but I don't think Drake May is going to have a huge game. I think he's going to finish with like 190-something yards, not a monster game for him. So I got under 213.5 for Drake May. All right, Pick number 2 for you. What do you got?
AJ Barner, anytime tutty.
Ooh, I like that's got to be big money. No,
It's last I saw, it's like plus 250.
Yeah.
Ish, something like that. You
Yeah,
know,
it's-
like he has only had, I think, 3 catches so far in the playoffs, but he caught 6 touchdowns this year. He ran for another one.
Yeah.
And you got to think with 2 weeks to prepare, the New England Patriots are going to focus all of their efforts on trying to stop JSN. And
Right.
so I think in the red zone, you'll see Barner get some opportunities.
All right, I gave the under on one quarterback. I'm going with the over on the other quarterback. I got Sam Darnold over 229.5. I can't believe that if you would have told me 2 years ago, even last year, that I'd be all in on Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. But here it is. He's going to be the first player from that draft. For all the talk of Lamar and Allen and Baker, Sam Darnold is the first one in the Super Bowl, and I think he's going to be the first one to win the Super Bowl. Over 229.5 for Sam Darnold. You got one more?
Yeah, how about I'm not sure what this total is at now, so we can
Okay.
verify it, but Kenneth Walker combined rushing and receiving yards, it's like 99, 98.5, something like that.
Okay.
I think he'll go over that total. I think they're just going to rely. I mean, you saw the AFC title game. I mean, this guy's a beast.
Yeah. All right, let me
NFC
see.
title game.
Player. Let me see what it is. Kenneth Walker, it's
The combined rushing and receiving.
so if you could get it at, if you do 100 plus, it's minus 108.
Fine, do that.
There you go. All right. Wait a second. No, am I looking at the wrong thing? Oh, no. Including, okay. Over 98.5 is minus 117.
Yeah, that's what I had.
There you go.
That's cool.
All right, and I'm going to take Rashid Shaheed over 32.5 yards. He'll make a couple of plays, and usually when he makes a play, it's a big play. So I got him with like 50 yards. Rashid Shaheed over 32.5. I think he's a free agent. He'll be an interesting guy in free agency. Over 32.5 yards for Rashid Shaheed. We'll give you game picks and more coming up on Thursday's show. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Jeff Zerbeck, who is the Ravens beat reporter for the Athletic. Get his take on Todd Monken. He'll be on with me tomorrow, and Dustin back with me on Thursday, and then the two of us will be back Monday morning, a special Monday Bull and Fox edition, recapping the Super Bowl and turning the page on another football season. Until then, thanks to Alex and Levi for producing today. Thanks to all of you for watching today. We'll talk to you next time. Where else but right here in the Bullpen with Bull and Fox, brought to you by Bet Rivers. See you, everybody.
See ya.